Everybody, welcome to another episode of Nothing TV. Today I'm joined by Chief Brand Officer Charlie Smith. Welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe we can talk about what products we're launching today.
We're launching our latest entry points into the Nothing ecosystem with the Phone 4B and the Ear 3A.
I actually had a chance to sit down with the ID team earlier this week to get a bit more of a deep dive on the design of this product. So let's throw to previous Rob and see what they had to say. Thank you, future Rob. Delighted to be joined here by Bolade, Carmen, Haneid, and Esme. Why don't we start with the story, the brief? How did Ear 3A come to be?
On one hand, we have our A series, which is like an entry level into the Nothing brand. And on the other side, we have our Number series, which is like the most technical, purest expression of the Nothing brand. And since this is Ear 3A, it's sitting on kind of more the friendlier side.
I think for Ear 3A, the brief was kind of to think about Ear A and where we wanted to take it. I mean, we're all aware it was like quite a successful product. We introduced yellow, we introduced the new case layout, and there were things that we felt were quite important about Ear A that we wanted to like carry forward.
I was also wondering about the case itself is a lot more kind of rounded versus Ear A.
That was like, what, 3 months of our lives?
Yeah, it was a headache.
Yeah, we did play around with the radii in the corners quite a lot.
It was quite important to soften the product. The fact that you have a softer object to play with in your hand, and then also the way that feels when you put it in your pocket was something that was quite important to us. So really thinking about the opening of the case was something we spent a lot of time on. So using some parts from Ear A and then some 3D printed parts, really thought about the way we treat the flange and whether we could cut in details or different means we could work with to just help make that opening experience a lot easier.
So what this rig does is it allows you to measure the opening force around the entire axis of rotation of that lid.
I've been hearing about this new feature with a new gesture to go with it. What is that exactly?
We're trying this new thing out called the audio snapshot, and it's basically whenever you're listening to anything, you can do a new gesture, which is pinch both buttons simultaneously, and you can capture a moment of interest. There is some flexibility in how people can capture the snippets.
Is the output of that shareable audio files in Nothing X?
It is. So it's almost like a screenshot. Imagine you're kind of building a gallery of snippets that you can share with your friends, that you can kind of just have for your own reference to listen back to. It's interesting to have a new type of media that's kind of succinct and about a moment, rather than trying to kind of make a longer recording of sorts. But yeah, we think there's some magic in being able to capture a little bit of the past and a little bit of the future.
And as you can see, we've expanded our pink universe. Obviously, recently with the launch of our headphone A in kind of a softer pink, we've like shifted more for Ear 3A to be this kind of deeper, juicy, almost like a raspberry pink. It's really important that you don't just pick one color of one product and put it on another. You have to think about the context that it sits in. Ear 3A is an earbud. It's a lot smaller surface area to work with. You can go kind of bolder and punchier with the colors. We were also quite inspired by the old iMac, the pink one.
Right.
That had a bit of an edge to it.
Yeah.
And I think that is definitely one of the influences.
We've got a matrix of LEDs. I'd love to hear what's going on here.
We've put on a little 1x3 LED matrix instead of a single LED to communicate the product status. So that's things like pairing, charging, battery states and everything. We looked at a bunch of different versions of the matrix itself as well, whether it's a 2x2, whether it's a square, whether it's a strip, all of those different things. We kind of really landed somewhere with just like a single 1x3.
What we have here is 3 1x1 pixels, and in between each one is a tiny piece of die-cut PET, which basically acts as a light barrier between each pixel, so the light doesn't bleed into the next one.
We really think of this not as a glyph, but the glyph interface comes with a lot of nuance about how it behaves and how we kind of design behaviors around it. These are more about communicating everything that's really going on with the device, but in a more clear, direct way.
Thank you so much, everybody. This was, as always, incredibly insightful. And for now, we're going to hand back to future Rob and Charlie. Great to see the next evolution of our A-series earbuds, but I'd love to hear more about the functionality.
It's got a new 12mm audio driver, which means it delivers deeper, fuller bass, which we all love. It also has static spatial audio, as well as better ANC.
And you also mentioned a good price point. Where are we landing with this?
So Ear 3A is going to be available from today on nothing.tech for £99.
I think these are going to sell like hotcakes, just like the first generation, but you also mentioned new smartphones. What's the story here?
Phone 4B is really about bringing two design ideas together. You've got the unibody and transparent window from the 4A Pro, and then you've also got the glyph bar from the 4A, and it feels super clean, minimal, and light in the hand.
What's the story with color on these products?
We've got this new vibrant blue colorway, which I love. Blue happens to be my favorite color. And of course, we also have it in our signature white and black as well.
Anything else you'd like to share about Phone 4B?
I think that's it from me, but I'm going to hand over to someone else who's even more excited to talk about this phone, one of our product specialists in India.
I wonder who that is. Is it my man?
All right. Thanks, Charlie and Rob, for introducing the Phone 4B. For the majority of it is being manufactured here in India. For those who might not know, India has become a world-class manufacturing hub. Over the last 10 years, they've continuously building the infrastructures. And as you know, at Nothing, we like to do things differently, especially with that very unique design. So there are a few things we've actually further pushed the limit and innovated when it comes to our assembly line. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we finally entered the factory, but actually here is not only about assembling the phone. You'll find all across the process a lot of quality tests, over 500 automated tests and over 40 manual tests to ensure that we're making products that are fully functional and as well that will last for the long run. So here is the Phone 4B. And a few things going on the design side of things. So first and foremost, we have that glyph bar that was introduced with the Phone 4A. And then, I'm sure you've seen the resemblance. It has the sort of very similar design approach to the Nothing 4A Pro. And you know, we're all about details at Nothing, so feel of the phone is very important to us. Here we've applied 3 layers of coating. One to feel quite kind of soft on the hand, but also to minimize the fingerprints. But this is the finished product. Let's see how it's being assembled. We're finally here at the start of the assembly line. And here, all our smartphones are being manufactured and more importantly, living up to the same quality standard, regardless of the price segment. This is called an extra clean room. So for the most sensitive parts of the assembly line, we have those rooms where they're basically a humidifier that will basically bring all the dust particles down and they will fall into this water tray. It's a bit heavy. Oh, shoo. Aye. All right, that's a live test. Okay, the phone is working, so we didn't lie. It's water and dust resistant, perfectly working. Onto the first station here, we're basically putting in the most important part of the smartphone, which is the motherboard, and which has the processor, which is basically the brain of your smartphone. So here we apply the thermoglue to then put on the motherboard. Sorry, my man, apologies. I'm just gonna take this. Thank you so much. So here are all the motherboards, and there is one critical component in the motherboard of the phone, which is the processor. And here we are using another high-performing Snapdragon processor, the 6th Gen 4. And what's specific about it, it has an AI engine, which is actually quite similar to the one you'll find on the Phone 4A series. And it's going to be perfect to power the essential AI tools across the Nothing OS. It's great for gaming, actually. It supports up to 120 FPS, depending on the game. To sustain also your gameplay performance, we actually have a super big vapor cooling chamber here. We have dual stereo speakers. We heard you loud and clear, so we made that happen. So here we have the battery of the Phone 4B. And it's actually one of our longest lasting batteries that we've ever made. We have a 6.77-inch Super AMOLED display with HDR10+ and with 120 Hz refresh rate, which makes the whole experience super smooth. Actually, we've been really doubling down on camera for the past 3 years with kind of more engineers, a lot of R&D and so on. So this is the main camera actually. So it's a 50 megapixel OIS sensor, which stands for optical image stabilization, which is basically for shake-free pictures as well for better low-light performance. And it comes, of course, with 4K recording The hardware part is important, but the software is equally important. And here, the Phone 4B comes with our flagship level TrueLens engine, which basically leverages multiple computational photography algorithms, including AI, multi-frames, and so on, to basically bring as much true to life details. Oh, I actually forgot. But the Phone 4B comes with a really cool video feature. It's called dual video recording. Yeah, guys, hey! It's going good? All right. And now, to finish off, let's flash Nothing OS onto this device. So Nothing Phone 4B comes with Nothing OS 4.1 based on Android 16, and it comes with 3 years of major Android updates and 6 years of security updates. And here are the key new features. And it also comes with all the essential AI tools like Essential Space, Essential Search, the newly launched Essential Voice, and last but not least, Essential Apps. This is it. We got a brand new phone, which is just about to launch. So now let's talk about the price. So the starting price will be £299, 329 euros, and here in India, it will start at 34,999 rupees. And it will be available across a few drops on the 11th of July, and it will go on open sale starting on the 17th of July.